Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we're back with another LFA prediction video on the channel. Today giving my predictions for LFA 219 Thomson versus Islomboev. Now the last card I gave prediction video for was LFA 217. That card we did pretty well on. It was McKee versus Nobre. I think that was the main event. We only got 2 picks wrong overall in the whole card, so I'd say it was a pretty good success. And we have another card this weekend, and I'm looking forward to giving my predictions for it. But before I get into it, make sure if you guys are new around here and you're enjoying this content, you go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. Now, on this card, there's a total of 14 fights, but 2 of them are amateur fights, so I'm not going to bother giving my predictions for them. So we kick things off with the first prelim of Miles Dillahunty versus Trevon Eller. Now, Dillahunty is a 1-0 record, American man. I mean, I'm pretty sure nearly the entire card's an American versus an American, so I do not need to state that. But he got 1 win in his career. It was a round 1 KO over a 0-2 opponent in his first fight. His amateur career looks alright as well. Got a few KOs wins in there as well, so he looks alright. His opponent, Trevon Eller, is also undefeated man, 2-0 professionally, 29 years old. Both his wins have come by first round KO. So both these guys are looking pretty decent at the minute. Both of them fighting in the LFA for the first time. Also has a good amateur record as well, with basically all finishes. So it could go either way, because both of these guys are undefeated. Not much experience either, but I'm going to back Eller to get this job done. I just think he's going to be the better fighter if he can get to the ground. Finishing with ground and pound, I reckon Eller gets the KO. Now, moving up the card to Sergio Martinez versus Lane Rowe. Now, Martinez is a 1-0 man, 22 years old. Has 1 fight, 1 win by way of split decision in his career back in June this year. Apart from that, that's all he's got on his record. Has a couple wins in his amateur career. Lost a couple as well by submission and KO before, but he's quite young, so he's got quite a lot to go in his fight game. His opponent, Lane Rowe, is also 1-0 record, same age, 22. Both these guys pretty young. He's won his first fight by rear naked choke in round number 1 back in June this year. So both of these guys pretty similar records, to be fair. Rowe with a more convincing win coming into this fight. Has a pretty decent amateur record, to be fair. Got some good wins as well. I think that Rowe will be able to get this job done. I mean, honestly, could go either way like the first fight. Both these guys unproven really, but I'm backing Rowe to get the win by submission. Now, moving up the card to Adrian W. Thomas versus Carter Beekman. Now, Thomas is 2-1 in total, 32 years of age. Lost his first professional fight by KO in round number 3, but he has bounced back in his last 2 fights with wins by rear naked choke in round number 1 in both his fights. So he's done well recently. Also has a decent amateur career as well. Quite a few wins coming by decision. His opponent, Carter Beekman, is 3-1. So similar record to fair. 1 more win. 28 years of age. Currently on a 2-fight winning streak as well, with a KO win in his last fight. Also a split decision win before that. Has been finished once in his career by submission, but he has a KO before that as well. So both these guys do look alright, not bad fighters, both with 1 loss to their name, but both losses coming early on in their career. So I'm going to back Thomas to win this one. I just think, he's on a winning streak, so is the other guy, but I just feel like he's coming with 2 rear naked choke wins. Beekman has lost a split decision, lost to submission before by some not too good guys. So I'm going to back Thomas to win, and I reckon he might get the decision. Now, moving up the card to Finn Martin versus Trevor Linderman. Now, both these guys are 0-0 coming into this fight. Both American men as well. But if we look at their amateur careers, Martin is a 6-0 amateur record, 28 years of age. Pretty much he was 5-0, all wins by KO coming into his last fight, which was a decision win. So he looks pretty good. Not fighting too bad of opponents at amateur level either. Trevor Linderman, on the other hand, is 5-0 amateur, 23 years old, so pretty young. Decent amateur record as well. A few wins coming by submission, KO this year as well. So, what can I say? Both these guys look good. Undefeated amateur records. Both making the professional debut. But I'm going to back Martin to win this fight. I mean, honestly, could go either way. I'm going to say that. But I do think that Martin, with a lot of wins by KO before coming into this fight, I feel like he's going to come in here and get the KO himself. Now, moving up the card to Bryce Woerner versus Trevor Grice. Now, Woerner, I don't know how you say his name. It's got a weird E in the middle of it. But Woerner is a 1-0 record, 22 years of age. His first win came by rear naked choke over a 2-1 opponent. So, decent win. That, to be fair, has a really good amateur record as well. A lot of wins coming by like decision, and he's got a few finishes in there as well. He looks decent. His opponent, Trevor Grice, on the other hand, is a 0-0 coming into this fight, but he has a 5-1 amateur record. 35 years of age though, so he is a late bloomer in the MMA game, making his professional debut at 35. But he does have a decent amateur record with like quite a few finishes. Well, all finishes pretty much. So he looks good, but I don't think he'll be able to beat Woerner, the much younger opponent. Already has a win as well professionally, so I'm going to back Woerner to win by submission. Now, moving up the card to Dylan Booker versus Elias Rodriguez. Now, Dylan Booker is 2-0, 28 years of age. Both wins coming by round 1 KO. Two decent wins, to be fair. Also has quite a lengthy amateur career as well, where he's got some decent wins as well. A couple of finishes there, so he does like a finish, does Booker. 2 wins in a row. His opponent also is 2-0. Rodriguez, both wins coming by finishes. He won his first fight in the LFA by rear naked choke, then got a KO win in his last fight. So he's been beating decent opponents both fights in the LFA as well. So he looks good with a decent amateur record as well. So I think Rodriguez should win this fight. I mean, honestly, both these guys, like most of these fights have predicted so far, both these guys don't have much experience. Both 2-0, so both their wins come by finish as well. So not like they've had much experience in the cage, but I reckon Rodriguez has fought the better opponents, and I'm going to back Rodriguez to win by submission. Now, moving up the card to Ronald Humphrey versus Dupree Stewart. Now, when I was picking these fights, this is one of the ones I struggled with the most to try and pick the winner. But start with Humphreys, 2-0 man, 25 years of age. Has looked good in his 2 fights so far. 2 wins, both coming by KO. 1 in round 1, 1 in round 2. So he's been getting the job done pretty early. Has a win over a 3-1 opponent in his last fight. Also has 4 wins by KO in his amateur career as well. So he looks pretty good. Coming into this fight, his opponent, Dupree Stewart, is 2-0. Both his wins have come by submission, both in round number 1 as well. So he's also been getting the job done. His amateur career, he's got many submissions as well. So it's basically a submission guy versus a knockout artist in this fight. God knows which way it's going to go. I struggled on this for a while, trying to pick which way, because Humphrey has shown he's a dangerous man, can KO. He's got all KOs in his career so far, but he is fighting a good opponent here in Stewart, who's a pretty good submission guy. So I'm going to back Stewart, I think, in this fight. I could honestly see Humphrey getting a knockout here, but I'm going to back Stewart to win, and I reckon he's going to get the submission. Now we move up the card to Andrew Stewart versus Jonathan Waid. Now, Andrew Stewart is 4-1, 32 years of age, was 4-0. Coming into his last fight in like Aries fight series or something, but he lost a decision to a more experienced man, but he losing his O. But I still think he's a decent fighter. Got a few wins by KO in his record, 1 win by decision. Hasn't fought like that high level of opponents really though. His opponent, Jonathan Waid, is 2-1, 28 years old. Was also fighting in Aries fight series before this, so they've both been like brought up to fight each other here. Has 2 wins, both by submission, and then has 1 split decision loss. Obviously, it hasn't fought that high level of opponents either, but he looks good. I mean, there's 1 amateur submission as well, so he's definitely a submission man, is Waid. But I'm just gonna back Andrew Stewart in this fight. I mean, he's had 2 more wins in his career. Has not fought that many opponents with like a winning record, but I just think, I think Stewart, he's got 1 loss in his last fight. I think he's going to bounce back and win by decision. Next up, we have Matt Adams versus Ben Wunder. Now, this is a heavyweight fight. Matt Adams, 4-1 in total, 28 years old. Was meant to fight earlier this year against like Alvin Hines and Josh Hogan, but both of them fights have been cancelled. But he's looked pretty decent, to be fair. He's had one loss in his career, which is his first ever fight, lost by KO. But since then, he's won 3 in a row, no, 4 in a row even, with 3 wins coming by KO. His last win coming by decision by his last fight. So he has looked decent, to be fair, in the heavyweight division. Ben Wunder, on the other hand, is a 2-0 man, 27 years old. Both his wins professionally have came by KO. His last one this year. But obviously, he's fought 2 opponents. One of them was 0-0, one of them was 1-4. So, not fought that high level of opponents. But his amateur career is pretty impressive. All wins coming by KO in mostly round number 1 as well. Has like a couple head kick KOs as well. So, I do think Ben Wunder is a dangerous man. Obviously, could find a knockout here in this fight. But I just think Matt Adams will be better than him in this fight. I feel like he'll be able to control him more, Adams, and get his way in this fight. So I'm going to back Adams to win, probably by decision. Now, moving up the card to Dedrek Sanders versus Dzhamal Mavliudov. God knows how you say that name. But we have the Russian man in Mavliudov. It was 6-0 in total. Russian man. Currently has 2 wins in the LFA. Both come by finish. KO'd. Got a KO in round number 1 in his last fight. Then got a submission in his first fight in the LFA. But overall, he looks pretty impressive. All 6 wins have came by finish in his career. So not much to say there. He's got 3 KOs, 3 submissions. He looks good. Dedrek Sanders, 9-5 American man, 35 years old. So he's getting on a bit. Has just came from the PFL. I watched his fight recently against Zaynukov last year. Lost the decision in that fight, but did KO Cosio in round number 1 before that. So not all too bad. Obviously, went on a good run for a bit in his career. Lost to some like UFC level opponents, Jonathan Pearce and Terence McKinney early on in his career, but went on a good run and then got to the PFL and he's only had 1 win in his last 2. He's 35. I mean, if this should be a layup for Mavliudov. I mean, the experience might play a part here. Sanders could get the win, but I'm backing the Russian man here to get this job done. He's a killing machine, so I'm going to back Mavliudov to win by KO. Now, moving up the card to the co-main event now. Raheam Forest versus Camilo. Now, Forest is a 8-3 man, 28 years old. First fight in the LFA here. I mean, I do think he is a good fighter. I mean, he was 6-0 at one point. He was fighting in the CFFC, like Cage Fury, I think. Had the belt there, but then lost it to Charles Radke, who's obviously in the UFC. I don't know if he still is. Has a win over Tristan Vines, who was obviously in the UFC as well. But then when he went on the Contender Series, did get KO'd in round number 1 by Danny Barlow. But he lost the belt. No, he lost the fight after that as well. But he bounced back this year with a win by KO over not a great opponent. But he got a win. Probably boosted his confidence a bit. His opponent, Camilo, is a Uruguayan man. 7-2-1 record. Looks pretty good. I mean, he's only had 2 losses. Both of them coming by decisions back to back in like 2019. But since then, I mean, he has 1 draw. But he's looked good. He's come to LFA. Got a round 1 KO in his last fight on a different card. I'm pretty sure I made a prediction video for that video. But he's got 2 finishes in a row coming into this fight. Looks pretty good. But do I think he has the capacity to beat Forest? I mean, Forest obviously fought on the Contender Series before. Was a good fighter. So this could be a close fight. I mean, I can see a world where Camilo wins. Maybe by finish. Camilo might get a submission hit. Not too sure. But I'm going to back Forest here. I just feel like he is a good fighter, and I reckon Forest wins by decision. Now we move up to the main event: Isaac Thomson versus Akbarjon Islomboev. And Isaac Thomson is an Australian man, 8-2 record, 23 years old, so very young, but he has a very good record as well. He has 2 losses, obviously. He's fought in LFA for most of his career. Got KO'd very early on in his career, and then had a split decision loss last year to Santana. But around that, I mean, he's on a 2-fight winning streak at the minute. Got the rear naked choke in his last fight over Henry. Has beat Larian Douglas by head kick KO, and we obviously saw him beat somebody to get into the on the contender series recently. So I do like Thomson. He's a very good fighter. 5-2 in total in the LFA. Many wins by KO as well in his career. His opponent, Akbarjon Islomboev, is a 10-1 Uzbekistani man, 26 years old. So both these guys quite young in the MMA game, to be fair. Currently on God knows how many like winning streak. Probably like 8 or 9 fights he's won in a row. I think it's 8. He has 1 loss in his career back in 2022, lost by decision. But since then, I mean, he's been on a rampage in different promotions. Has fought some decent opponents as well, but he's got quite a few KOs, submissions. I mean, he looks good. So this fight, it's a toss-up. Honestly, both of these guys are pretty good, but I'm going to back Thomson here. I mean, he's been in the LFA before. He's been looking good. Obviously, Islomboev is a very good opponent, so it's going to give him a good match here. But I'm going to back Thomson to get this win, and I reckon he wins by decision. So there are my picks for LFA 219. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my picks. And that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.